Hello, my name is Jorge Betancourt. I'm with the Smartboard Training Group. I'm going to be going over how I use my Smartboard to give instruction to the students in my classroom. A Smartboard is basically, it's kind of like a whiteboard, so it has a presentation of a whiteboard with the power of a computer. And Smartboard is turned on, at least the one that I have, because there's many different kinds. It's turned on by a projector that I have up here. And Smartboard is operated by this pen that I have here in my hand. This is the teacher's pen, and then there's also a student pen up here to the side right there. Teacher pen has more powers to it than the student pen does, where I can move certain objects that maybe the students cannot, depending on how I set it up in the software. Some Smartboards are also touchscreen. This one is not. I use a pen for it. So one thing to know right off the bat is that any Smartboards that are operated by a pen need to be calibrated. And so what I would do is you bring it up to this corner, you let it sit there for a minute, this white screen comes out that says click on surface to begin. And this is what you use to calibrate your pen. You don't always have to do this, but sometimes the pen will become uncalibrated, and so you have to do this in order for the Smartboard to operate the way that it needs to. So I already have the software kind of opened up. I'm going to turn off the lights so that you guys can see what it is that I'm touching up here. So you'll just be hearing mostly my voice and might be able to see me at some points due to the lighting. And I also do have a light turned on the device here off to the side. But I'm going to bring up the Active Inspire software, which is what operates and interfaces with the Smartboard hardware. And this is what the Active Inspire software looks like on my screen, so I'm just going to bring it up. And right off the bat, what will happen is you'll have this screen that comes up, but then also the Active Inspire dashboard will come up on it as well. And so it gives you a few different options when the dashboard comes up. It allows you here to create a new flip chart. Flip chart is kind of like a regular paper flip chart where you have information that's presented there, and then you flip through it. Well, this one is just basically digital, and you're flipping through in a sense pages here, depending on what you've created, different assignments or activities. So right here I also have the ability to open a flip chart and then that I've already saved, and then I also have down here just flip charts that I've used recently, so I can always click on those and it'll bring up anything that I recently have used. Another cool thing about the software that I'm using here is that I can create many flip charts and open them up, and they'll be up here in tabs, so I can basically set up my day and be ready to go for all the lessons that I could have for my students. Another neat thing about the dashboard here is it allows you to annotate over the desktop, and I'll get to that later on. And then it has the option of going to Promethean Planet from here. Promethean Planet is just a place where teachers have created their own flip charts and have uploaded them to this spot where if you need ideas for flip charts or for lessons, you can download flip charts that other teachers have made, as well as you can upload any flip charts that you have made. So just to get started, I'm going to close the dashboard here and show you just some of the basic functions of that you can find on the software that comes with the Smartboard. So to start, this right here, I'm going to go to my nouns, verbs, and adjectives flip chart. This is the page turner. If you come here, you'll see it's an arrow that shows a kind of like a page and an arrow in front of it. And so when I flip through that, you can see the different pages that are part of the flip chart. And so that's something to remember there. I also have here this color grid, which I use which comes into play whenever you're using the pen or highlighter function. I'm going to go over to a blank flip chart here to show you how that works. So here's the pen, and here's the pen, and this right here determines the thickness of the lines that you use when you're writing. So I'm going to just keep it black here. So now that I have the pen selected, I can write on the board. And then if I want to make this a thicker line, I just move over to the right, and then I write, and it's a thicker line there. The highlighter is also another neat function. I'm going to have that on pink right there. And the highlighter can be used to highlight over any text that you have on the flip chart. And I also use it with my students just to practice their handwriting, because some of them do a much better job when it's vertically on the surface as opposed to right in front of them on a table. So that's been useful for me in those ways. We also have an eraser that can be used to erase anything that you write on the board pretty much. And so I use the eraser to erase marks. And then some of these things operate the same way that they would on any kind of Microsoft software. So we have a paint fill button that can change the color of the back screen or different objects. This one has different shapes that you can make. And so, for example, I can make a triangle using the shapes toolbar. So I'm just going to leave it there. And then we also have another important thing to keep in mind, which is the text box. So the text box is basically you're able to write anywhere you want on the board, and it operates again the same way as you would find it on a regular Microsoft Word program. So if I want to write something, I just tap anywhere I want on the board, and then I'm going to go to my computer to write from there. And I'm just going to put here Smart Board Training. And if I want to, I just can highlight all of this, and I can make it bigger if I would like. And I can change the font from here, and change the color and do all those kinds of things. And once I have what I've written there, if I want to move it to a different spot on the flip chart, I just select the cursor here, and then I'm able to move this entire thing somewhere different. So I'm just going to move it over here. And so that's just one of the nifty things about the smartboard there. Another important thing to remember is this button here, which is just resets the entire page and erases anything that's on there. We also have this sprayer here that is used to clear different kinds of things. So for example, I'm going to go to maybe again I'm going to go to my touch math numbers flip chart, and then I'm going to write on the board here. And so let's say that I want to erase just what I've written here. Then I go to this spray bottle here, and the spray bottle, I can just hit clear annotations, so anything I've written will clear that. If I've written something here, and let's say I want to erase the objects, I say clear objects, and that'll get rid of any objects that I have here. It's like mainly any pictures I put on there or any media files. Another important thing to know about the smartboard software is when you're creating a flip chart, we have this icon up here that allows you to go into creator mode. And so the way I do it on this software is I hit this button here, it turns red, and this is what allows me to do some cool things. And so if I wanted to insert, for example, maybe a link to a website, I can go here to insert and then media, and then I can either choose something that I have already saved on my computer, or since I said I was going to insert a media thing, I'm going to go here to media. I went to the, wrong one again. Let's see here. Insert a link, and then I'm going to put website. And then I can put there whatever website I want. So I'm going to put www.youtube.com, and I'll hit OK. So that gives me a box here. Using my cursor, I'm going to move this box. Excuse me. And then I might just make this, make this bigger so that the words can fit. Or I can make the words smaller if I want. But anyways, this will not go anywhere. it will not take me to the website because I'm still in creator mode, and so it allows me to edit. But once I go back into just the finalized version, once I click on there, then it'll take me to the website that I want to go to. So that's another pretty cool thing about this technology here. Another neat feature about the Promethean board here, I'm going to erase this, is that I can do a dual user. And so let's say I have two students that want to come up. For that, I come up here to Tools, and then I go to Dual User, which is also F4 from the computer. And now I have the ability to have two students come up here, or me and another student, and we can both write at the same time. So their toolbar's over here, which is on floater mode, so they can put it anywhere they need to. So if you have any students that have physical disabilities and they need it all the way down here, then you can put it down here. And so here's pen mode for them. I just chose them. I have mine here as well. And now we can both write at the same time. So that's something that's neat. Another neat feature about the smartboard. And I think one other cool feature that I mentioned earlier was the annotation over the desktop. So if I go to this squiggly line board thing here, this allows me to bring the power of the tools of the Active Inspire software, and I can write over my desktop. And this comes in really handy whenever you're working on a website and you want to maybe highlight certain aspects of the website, or you want to just circle specific vocabulary words or anything like that. It's a really awesome tool to know and use. So this is the annotating over the desktop. Again, just to show you some of the other things that it does, I'm going to go back to my nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Flip chart. I'm going to flip over here. So I have a question up here. It says, what is a noun? So my answer is being concealed by this just this object here. And so whenever my students have tried guessing what it is, I can move this object and reveal the answer. So that's something that's really neat about it. And just show you here again with my touch math numbers how I'm able to grab objects and move them. Or I can even just resize anything if a student's having a hard time reaching a certain spot. I can resize objects. From here, there's toolbars that come up whenever you've selected something, and if you want to duplicate an object, you can do so, and it'll pretty much remain the same size as however you last left it. So that's another really neat feature about the smartboard software whenever you're doing that. Here we have some a base 10 blocks flip chart that I have, and each of these are set on a generator mode where I can just grab and it'll just generate however many blocks I need to come out. And so that's something that I really like. There's also more tools that can be accessed from the smartboard. I know I have some tools here that allow me to bring up some math tools. And so here, if you want to bring up a ruler or a calculator or a dice roller or anything like that on the board, you can do so. And there's some pretty neat things that come up because of it. So if I go over here, just bring it up real quick, just to show you guys again, I'll go to my tools and I'll bring up the math tools. And let's say again, calculator. Well, there's my calculator, and now I can do math problems using the calculator and show my students how to do that. So one other really cool thing there that you can do with the smartboard, and again, there's really just so much stuff that you can do. It really is incredible the amount of things that can be done with the smartboard. But here's just kind of a basics look about it all, and hopefully it helps you out if you ever get a chance to use something as amazing as this. Thank you.